It might be Wednesday and this might be the first episode of the week, but this is Private Practice. And hello, I'm Jo. In case you don't know me, I'm your host of This is Private Practice, where I want to share all the good, the bad, the ups, the downs, the insights into what it actually takes to build a private practice in this day and age. Yale, you're awake. Lovely to see you. Carol, as are you. There we go. I can't believe that it's already been Wednesday afternoon and I am only now getting here. I have found myself in a place where I feel overwhelmed by my overwhelm. And I haven't been here for a really long time. I have jumped into some unhelpful habits where I have avoided writing a to-do list because I'm scared of what I'm going to find on it. I have avoided email because I'm scared of who is going to need things from me. I have avoided asking how can I help because I'm scared somebody is going to tell me how I can help. I have all these things that are quite clear signs that I have enough going on in my own little head where I don't need all the extra things going on in the world. But I wanted to show up today so you could see that there's nothing terrible. I'm just having a bit of an off week and that's okay. Monday, I was not well. We know that I live with a chronic health condition. We know that sometimes that takes me out of action, and I actually rested on Monday. I spent most of the day in bed, which is my happy place when I am not feeling so particularly well. Hello, Ilsa. Lovely to see you as well. Thank you, Carol. And yesterday, I just totally misjudged time because I obviously have a completely unrealistic and unhelpful view of time at the moment, where I, for some reason, thought my train ride from the center of the city out here to where I live was going to happen differently to what it did happen. But that's okay. I am here today. I wanted to just check in and let you know that it's a busy time of year. If you're feeling the end of year-itis, I heard that term applied yesterday and I thought it was fantastic. There is this, especially here in Australia, I don't know if it's like this in the US, but in Australia from about the 20th of December, or when school finishes for the year, which I think is around the 20th of December, we're all gearing into this. We're kind of running around, holding our breath, just waiting to get to the end of the year, and everything stops for at least 2 weeks. In my world, it's going to stop for 3. I would like it to stop for 4, but it won't be. It'll be stopping for 3. And it's just interesting. I do things to make sure that I am not adding to that emotional load. So I don't watch the news, I don't go to shopping centers, I do my shopping online. I make sure that I am not being overstimulated by everybody else's emotional reactions to this time of year. But it's interesting that I'm finding myself this year more and more susceptible to it. And that's okay. It is what it is. But it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with me. It doesn't mean that I am broken, and it doesn't mean that I won't bounce back from this. I had a gorgeous, I finished with a rehab client today, which is stunning. This lady had been unable to work for 7 years due to a horrible, I guess, autoimmune condition. And I've been working with her for 4. So she's been out of the workforce now for a really long period of time. She needs to retrain. Her skills that she had when she went on claim and became sick aren't relevant anymore because the workplace actually needs us to keep learning and changing. And it's taken us a while, but we got to the point today where she no longer needs me, that she has made some good decisions. She is tenacious. She keeps putting one foot in front of the other. And what floored me today was she turned around and she goes, Jo, I just roll more what I see you do. And I thought that was really, because as clinicians, we often get caught up in this transference and counter-transference discussion. And yes, I agree, don't do that, bad, don't do it to manipulate and to create a power dynamic. But I think we forget that how we turn up, how we present, how we communicate, not necessarily in the clinical words that we use or the modality that we're practicing or the effectiveness of the treatment that we're using, but just who we are, can't help but turn up with our clients. So it doesn't mean that we have to be on all the time. It doesn't mean that we have to be awesome all the time. We're human. And for those of us working with other humans, they need to understand that we have good days and bad days. We don't come in and gush about our bad day and complain about our bad day, but we need to be able to acknowledge, you know what, I'm not at my best today. So we're going to change things up a little bit so you can get the best out of this treatment session. But it really dawned on me, because I've worked really hard to make sure that there were good boundaries in place with this client, and making sure that she understood that this was a professional relationship, because it very easily could move into something that was friendly. So I need to manage myself, manage her, manage my customers, to make sure that everybody understands, that this is a professional relationship and there are some boundaries here today. But what I can't ignore is me turning up when I'm in the room. And how I turn up can sometimes be as educative and therapeutic to clients as the work I do with them or the work they are doing while I'm in the room. So I think that that's a really important thing for us to remember, and we need to be thinking about this stuff. So we are in a day and an age where authenticity and transparency are things that get talked about, and we have the added burden of health professionals, and we can't avoid it, the added burden of making sure that we are ethical and we are professional. But how do we do that in a day and age when we are being asked to be transparent, when we are being asked to be authentic, when the people who want to work with us actually want us to be real with them? Have you ever had this problem? I get asked, the clients ask me that all the time. Have you ever had this? What have you done about this? How do you manage this, particularly around pain, which is why I've become so open about talking about it. It's like, well, yeah, but what works for me won't necessarily work for you, because this is about me and we need to work out what's going to work for you. So my challenge to everybody today, if you thought this was going to be another discussion on end-of-year-itis and being tired, no, sorry. I actually want to challenge you all. I want everybody to start thinking about how they turn up and what is it that's okay to share with clients and not okay to share with clients. I know you've all got ethical rules that you have to abide by, but I'm also very aware that many of us have ethics and codes of conduct, and you could not tell me what they were. And that worries me and it concerns me, and it allows us to be manipulated by third-party hearsay, and also by people who like to use ethics and professionalism as words of weaponry. So we can do something about that by becoming informed. Now, I've posted recently about the Health Regulation Practitioner Agency Code of Conduct around using social media in private practice. And people thought I was posting something new. I'm like, this has actually been around since 2012. You should know about this. You should be aware of this. There have been some updates, but on the whole, it's not new. That's a very Australian resource, so I made sure that when I was posting it that it wasn't available to everybody, because like, what the heck? That wouldn't be useful for everybody. Very cool. So if you're tired, it is coming to the end of the year. I'm curious to know if this is an Australian phenomenon when we hold our breath and run really fast to the end of the year, or if it's a worldwide phenomenon. I'm also curious to know what it is that makes you authentically you when you turn up in the room before you open your mouth. Before you open your mouth and you say a word, how have you turned up in a room when you're with a client? And that could be online, that could be in a physical room, it could be a walk and talk therapy. How are you doing that? Because I don't think we're thinking about it enough. We spend way too much time worrying about the couches in our offices or the branding on our website, and we're not thinking about how we are turning up and what that actually means. That will say a lot more about your branding than how much money or who did your new logo. Just going to throw that out there, and so we can have a discussion about branding another day. It is my goal to come back tomorrow and talk about all things This Is Private Practice. But who knows what could happen then? I might get my diary confused or something. But if I am back, great. If I'm not, I'll see you on Friday, where we can celebrate all the awesomeness that we have been up to this week and all the cool things, and make sure that we are remembering how fabulous we really are. We in Colorado are talking about what we accomplished this year and goals for next year. Well, that is lovely, Yale. I am so pleased that that is what is going on in Colorado. Are you snowed in? Carol, so true. The way I have managed my health is a role model to my clients. I didn't realize that. Neither did I. Neither did I. It's an added benefit of the work that we do and the people we get to work with. Thank you, everybody. Looking forward to catching up with you again this week. Until then, go be your awesome self.